Hey, it is Troy. I know that most people are going to see this after the fact, not necessarily live. So I just want to go ahead and just kind of get started. Just want to go over an article I recently put out about home prices, just to give you some information on what is happening with home prices right now in the midst of all of the economic issues and health crisis, just so you know and have accurate information out there. So I'm just going to read through this article that I wrote and then just stop and kind of talk about some certain things along the way, just so you can have an idea of what's going on out there. So the title of the article is Home Prices. It's all about supply and demand. And just about any time you're dealing with anything that's for sale and prices, it all comes down to that, supply and demand. So the article starts, as we enter the summer months and we're looking through the challenges associated with the current health crisis, many are wondering what the impact of the economic slowdown will have on home prices. So looking at the big picture, supply and demand is going to give us the clearest idea of what is to come. So let's take a look. Making our way through the month of June and entering the second half of the year, we face an undersupply of homes on the market. Keep in mind, this undersupply is going to vary by location and by price point. And always remember that real estate is local. So what may be happening on one part of the country, in one part of the country, may not be what's happening in your part of the country. So always look to see what is happening local. If you have questions about what's happening here in Tennessee, definitely just reach out to me and I'll be happy to tell you. And remember, sometimes it's not even local, it's hyper-local. It could be different in one subdivision to another. So reach out, I'm happy to give you that information. So as we continue, according to the National Association of Realtors across the country, we currently have a 4.1 month supply of homes on the market. Historically, 6 months of supply is considered a balanced market. So anything over 6 months is a buyer's market, meaning prices will depreciate. Anything below 6 months is a seller's market where prices appreciate. So if this says that currently we have a 4-month supply nationally, that means we are still in a seller's market where prices should be appreciating. So the graph below shows inventory across the country since 2010 in month supply of homes. So you can see back in 2010, we were up around 8.5 months. And then it continued just decreasing. 2012, it kind of hit right around 4.5 months and then just kept going down. 2017, it hit a bottom, came up a little bit, came down back in 2019, and it's come up a little bit as of today nationally. So at 4.1, we're still below that 6-month threshold that puts us into a seller's market. So Robert Diaz, chief economist for the National Home Builders Association, says, as the economy begins to recover later in 2020, we expect housing to play a leading role. Housing enters this recession underbuilt, not overbuilt, the opposite of the last recession. Estimates vary, but based on demographics and current vacancy rates, the U.S. may have a housing deficit of up to 1 million units. So given the undersupply of homes on the market today, there is upward pressure on prices. Looking at simple economics, when there's less of an item for sale and demand is high, consumers are willing to pay more for that item. The undersupply is also prompting bidding wars, which can drive price points higher in the home sale process. According to a recent Market Watch article, as buyers return to the market and the country rebounds from the pandemic, a limited inventory of homes for sale could fuel bidding wars and push prices higher. And I can tell you from experience here in the Knoxville market, that is happening, especially in certain price ranges. For example, anything from $250 and under, the inventory is very low, and we are seeing bidding wars. Most homes, especially 200 and under, the moment they hit the market, there are multiple offers, and then you are dealing with having to put in your highest and best offer and hope that the seller chooses your offer. That is a reality. That is happening every day in this market. In addition, experts forecasting home prices have updated their projections given the impact of the pandemic. The major institutions expect home prices to appreciate through 2022. The chart below, updated earlier this week, notes the forecasts. As the year progresses, we may see these projections revised in a continued upward trend given the lack of homes on the market. This could drive home prices even higher. So you can see in this new updated graph, Mortgage Bankers Association says 2020, we should see 4.3% home price appreciation, followed by 3.2 and 2.4 in the years after. Zelman and Associates says 3%, 4.2 and 4.6. Fannie Mae 0.4, 2.1. They don't go out to 2022. National Association of Realtors 3.8 this year, followed by 2.1, and Freddie Mac is always really conservative, and they have lower numbers there. So bottom line, many think home prices will depreciate due to the economic slowdown from coronavirus, but experts obviously disagree. As we approach the second half of this year, we may actually see home prices rise even higher given the lack of homes for sale. Okay, so on a side note, I just want to show you quickly, when we look at what this number says up here about nationally being at a 4.1 month supply of homes, I just want to show you really quickly what it looks like in Knox County. And if you have questions about other counties or other areas, feel free to reach out to me. I'll be happy to do that research for you and let you know. But let's look really quick at what's happening in Knox County. Okay, here is Knox County. When we look at the absorption rate, which is the same thing that we were seeing in this graph here, this is the absorption rate, 4.1 months. That's how much supply of homes there are on the market. The lower you get, the least amount of homes there are in the market, and the more of a buyer's market it is. So we look at Knox County on this graph. The absorption rate right now at the end of May was 1.79 months. So if 6 months is a healthy market, and the difference between a seller's market and a buyer's market, at 1.79 months, we are deep into a buyer's market, which is why we are seeing multiple offers and bidding wars. There just is not enough inventory of homes on the market for buyers to snap them up. So when we look at other things along with that, the sold to list ratio, as this has decreased, the sold to list ratio, meaning the ratio between the price that the house was listed at and what it was sold for, is at the highest it has ever been since back here in January 2019. So over the years, I mean, it is trending very, very high. It's at 97.9%. So homes are selling for pretty close to what they're listing for. And in the lower price ranges, I can guarantee you they're selling for either at or above what they're asking because of the bidding wars. Listing prices here are increasing. Number of listings are decreasing. So that does not help the inventory situation. Days on the market also decreasing, and they're flying off the market quickly. As we look at this information down here, let's just see. Here we go. So absorption rate in May of 2020 was 1.79%. So year to date, 2020, we're at 1.86%. Last year, we were at 2.23%. So we are going down in inventory, the opposite direction we need to be going for a healthy market. You don't want it to be this much of a buyer's market because it's hard for everybody. Good for sellers, but guess what? Sellers become buyers, and then they have trouble finding a house. Average list price, you can see, has increased. So the average list price in May of 2019 was $400,213, and in May of 2020, $436. So that's an increase in 9.10% of average list price. When we take the median list price, which takes out any big numbers or small numbers that don't fit into a tighter knit group, we're looking at about 300 to 316. So that's an increase in 5.35%. That's from the May to May. But if we look year to date, our average list price increased 2.21%. The median list price increased 5.83%. Average sale price increased 6.39%, and the median sales price increased 7.93%. So really that's telling us that prices have increased in Knox County from 2019 year to date to right now, 2020 year to date, by almost 8%. And that is because of supply and demand and what is happening with the inventory situation. Average days on the market has decreased 16%, and median days on the market obviously decreased 14%, saying 12 days average on the market in Knox County. So if you have questions about the local market or specifically for your home, remember, real estate's local, real estate is hyperlocal. Reach out to me. I am happy to help and get you that information. And I just look forward to helping any way that I can. Hope this has been helpful. Let me know if there's anything else that I can do these on. I will try and do these more regularly with the articles that I put out that kind of go more in depth in them. And I just hope you're having a great day. Stay safe out there, and we'll talk to you soon.